Here's the second way I break down buzz rolls. I'll use this with my more advanced high school students, and even some of my more advanced middle school students. But this is not what I do with my beginners. It's a little bit harder to understand because we're going straight into a buzz roll and it does need to be able to be played off both hands. So here we're going to start kind of at the second level of what our beginner exercise was. We're going to start with our hands together and just play 8 quarter notes, hands together. The goal here is to make your hands feel and sound as close to the same as possible. Again, like I said in the last video, if you have a way to slow-mo this or slow it down, you can count the number of buzz strokes on each hand, but we're aiming for 3. At least I personally am aiming for 3 on each hand. All right, so once we get done with that first, I'll call it level of the double stops, here we're essentially gonna play flams. I'm not sure what the rhythm is. I'm not thinking about the rhythm. I'm thinking about getting my hands to overlap as I split them. So if we're here for our double strokes or for our double stops buzzes, 6, 7, I'm gonna split my hands now. So a flam is probably the easiest way to think about it, but it's not really a flam because the hands are even. In a flam, one hand would be high, one hand would be low, and they'd move at the same time. Here, I'm not aiming for that. I'm aiming for 2 strokes that buzz and overlap. So I'm starting with my dominant hand, which is my right hand. I'm going right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Again, I'm thinking about that being a very close rhythm, not necessarily worried about what the exact rhythm is. When I'm working on my buzz roll like this and when I'm working with my students on their buzz rolls like this, I typically don't use a metronome, at least at the start of this process, because I want to focus on what my hands are bound, what my buzzes are like, and what my hands feel like. And the metronome can sometimes deviate my attention away from that. Eventually, we will put this on the click for rhythm's sake and to make sure the rolls are long enough and we're being true to the grid. But to start, the focus is the buzz and the quality of the buzz. Okay, so again, I'm gonna split my hands, not worried about the rhythm, but I'm just going right, left, right, left, right, left, or whatever your dominant hand is. And they are close enough to overlap just a little bit. Now, level 3 of this exercise is turning that 2-note exercise into a 3-note group. So now I'm going to be playing a 3-note based 3 buzzes. Again, not worried about what the rhythm is, but it's going to help me start off of each hand. So without the buzzes, it sounds like this. Right, left, 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 right. And I am going slow enough where I'm trying to stay based off that quarter note I established at the beginning where I'm here. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to skip to 3 now. And I'm trying to stay in that quarter note range. So again, level 1 would be the hands together. Level 2 would be the hands separated, overlap. Level 3 is the hands in groups of 3. So I'm going to play the first 3 levels for you right now. 1, 2, ready, go. And I'm leaving that last hand stuck down a little bit just because when we get into the roll, that's how we get the buzzes. The hands stay stuck to the drum head a little bit longer than they would in a single stroke. So I want to think about keeping my hand down just a little bit longer. Now level 4, after we get to level 3, we're thinking about just 3-note groupings. We're not thinking rhythm. We're thinking about starting our roll off each hand. We're thinking about it being a really short roll, actually. In that 3-note grouping. Level 4 is just to put 8 beats of a roll together. So there's really I'm not thinking about playing in 16th notes. I'm not trying to meter out my hands. I'm just trying to get my best sounding buzz roll for 8 counts, regardless of what hand speed that is. So if I start on my right and I end up on my left at the end of 8 counts, that's totally fine. That's just an odd number. If I start on the same hand and end on the same hand, then it ends up being an even number of strokes. That's totally fine. Again, my focus is what does my buzz roll sound like. So this is what the whole exercise sounds like together. Go ahead, I'm gonna count it off like I have been. Feel free to play along, listen once, rewind as much as you need to. Here's the whole exercise. 1, 2, ready, go. Ended on the same hand I start on, so that's some even number of strokes. Again, my goal is not to know what that is right now because I'm not using a metronome and I'm just counting to 8 and focused on, do I have the most even buzz roll that I can have? Hopefully this helps.